What's up guys, my name's Brendan, this is Michael, and we're here today reviewing a 2015 Mark 6 GLI. We're in the suburbs of Vancouver driving around in Belcarra. It's a beautiful day and some beautiful roads. So to begin, this Mark 6 GLI is one of the best looking stock Volkswagens I've seen. Just earlier today we were driving past a Volkswagen dealership, and both Michael and I really said that this car with the red paint, the 18-inch wheels, and the facelifted taillights and headlights really make this car stand out. And a lot of other Volkswagens have to get modified quite a bit for it to stand out in a crowd. So this car has a 2-liter turbo TSI engine that's pushing out about 200 horsepower to the crank and about 210 foot-pounds of torque, I believe. Numbers are a little bit iffy, but close enough.
So it's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to get into specifics.
So what does this start at? This one's 30,000.
They start at 30K, yeah.
Okay, and like
29. It's like 20. It's like 20. Whatever. Just say around.
It's around 30. Okay, and the base model Jetta starts at like 14, 15.
Yeah.
High end 14. So what do you get for your extra 15,000 bucks? Like, what's the stock Jetta when you had one? What was that?
Okay, so yeah, I have a Mark 5 GTI, and I was in the shop one day and they had lent me I believe it was a 2016 Jetta with a new 1.4 liter turbo engine. And when I had that, the car was definitely peppy, but not quite the same as this. This holds the power a lot longer. Basically with this 2-liter turbo, it doesn't put you in the back of your seat, but it does carry through the power band almost all the way up to $6 grand, which is really nice.
You know what it does do?
What?
Put you in the front of your seat.
What does that even mean? Alright, so to start off, let's talk about the performance of the car. So first of all, the power band of this is pretty interesting. It's really dead before $3 grand. It's a classic turbo car. As soon as it hits 3 though, as soon as it hits 3, it really pulls pretty evenly all the way to redline, which is a little bit different than the previous generation. The previous generation, the Mark 5 GLI and GTI, started at about kind of like 2,800 RPMs, pulled pretty strong, but at about 5, it would drop off and you would lose all the power. This, on the other hand, with the second generation TSI engine, carries through all the way to 6 and a bit, which is a nice change for sure.
You want to know something that no one reviews anymore?
What?
Just because there's like no cars that come with them. It's a gear shift.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I know. So the manual shifter in this car. First of all, thank you for the manual transmission.
Yeah, Papa bless. Thank you. Thank you, Volkswagen.
Yeah. So first of all, this manual transmission is a huge improvement over the previous generation. It still has huge throws, which if you're coming from something like even like a Civic or lots of other transmissions, or if you're coming from or if you're coming from a short shifter kit or anything, this is gonna feel like it's gonna feel a little bit weird. But if this is what you're used to, it does have a really good feel to it, and it's quite a bit more precise than the previous generation.
Yeah, I think that's the big point here, is that compared to the Mark 5, this one's a lot more precise. Holy balls. This one's a lot more precise compared to the Mark 5. But compared to like a Mark 7 GTI or something, it's nowhere near as tight.
I feel. One thing to note, one thing to note is that the shift knob itself is really light, so you don't really get that satisfying movement of putting the shifter into gear on each shift. It kind of just floats there. Whereas if you kind of have okay, this guy is doing some weird parking. Okay, good one. All right. The other option for transmissions for the Volkswagen GLI and the GTI is the DSG, the dual clutch transmission. The DSG is a lot faster than this manual is, and
what would you rather have? Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know you always tend to go with the DCTs or.
So let me give you the reasons why. So right now, to put it in perspective, I have a 2008 Mark 5 GTI. And that is manual as well. I love manuals, don't get me wrong, and depending on the car, I would always choose the manual. If I'm in a car where I only have the choice between, let's say, a manual and a CVT or just a traditional automatic transmission, 11 times out of 10, I'm gonna choose the manual, and I think you're the same way.
But I love, like, I'll choose a manual transmission as long as it's good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go into a car and like, I like automatic. Well, actually, that's a lie. I don't like automatics. I like manuals, but like, especially in modern cars, it's almost, if you're gonna stick a manual in there, like it has to be good. Yeah. Especially in like a sports model, because the automatics have gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like the standard is so much higher for manuals. Like you can't just throw something in there and just have it like crap. Really in Jettas, I've never really liked the brake feel in any Jetta. I find just about all of them, the initial step on the pedal is just really squishy and vague. It doesn't give you any feedback at all. And I feel like that's pretty consistent all the way through the, like you can go all the way down on the brake pedal. Yeah. And you don't really get any communication back from the car.
I think it's really true when people say new brake pads, maybe some stainless steel brake lines and some new brake fluid would go a long way in most cars, and this car would definitely benefit from those things.
Yeah, for sure. Good enough.
Yeah, no. Also take in consideration these are upgraded brakes from the standard. Oh yeah. Standard Jetta, so they definitely are improvement. Don't get us wrong. It's not that these are bad brakes by any means. They're better than the stock Jetta. It's just that they're not great. But at the $30,000 price point Canadian, obviously, they're not terrible, but they could use a little bit of work, that's for sure. I gotta say though that I love the looks of the new Audi steering wheels, the sports series of the BMW steering wheels, and the Volkswagen as well. I love the look. I love how it's smaller on the inside here, and it has really good 10 and 2 notches here, which are, or I guess 9 and 3, but the hand position is 10 and 2. So, yeah, so no, I definitely like the feel of it. Let's talk about suspension. Because although this is the performance-oriented version of the Jetta, yeah, it's really nice, and the person who's gonna buy this GLI isn't someone who's gonna be carving back roads every single day.
And even GTIs, like there's not a, I wouldn't say like GTI is definitely not like buying and taking it to the track car. Like most people aren't gonna buy a GTI and take it to the track, and like you can completely feel that in this. Like this isn't, it's not insanely hard. It's just, it's enough to give you feedback.
No, in my personal opinion, I think for the price point, for a sedan car, I think compared to what is offered out there, I think this is a really good choice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. We're planning on making a lot more content, so let us know what you think in the comments. Leave us some feedback. Let us know where we can improve, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
You got clear road on the up ahead.
And so once again, there's only one man clever enough to have perpetrated such a dastardly crime.
Ha! And I thought you were ready to give up.